right, 24 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, you ever hear this joke? A nun walks into a studio with an actor. I don't know where it goes. It goes from somewhere. All right, we're going to have some fun right now. It's like entertainment day today. We have some more, another play to talk to you about. Greg Thompson is here. This is maybe the most handsome man we have in our studio, except for me. I don't know. How you doing, Greg?
Great. Now, especially.
There you are. How you doing?
No, Greg's extremely.
There you are. Yeah.
But you're cute.
Hey, we don't mind complimenting the women. We can compliment the men too. Greg was here when we did the promo for this play, by the way. Oh, look at you guys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And now here he is.
How
in
could
his
you forget?
Hat because he didn't know.
And he did the promo with me, so he's the voice on the promo. All right, let's see who we have here today. Greg Thompson is here. He's the director, choreographer, actor, and bi-coastal. Almost sounds like a condition, doesn't it? Yeah, he's on the West Coast.
You make sure you said coastal there.
He's got a show that he wants to let you know about. It's called Do Black Patent Leather Shoes Really Reflect Up, and it's a fun one to look up because it's hard to find online. But we did find some pieces. You helped me with that too. And let's see, we have Suella DeVito, your sister Lee. Yeah. Did I say that right? Oh, good morning. Hold on, sister. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you really a nun?
No.
I heard you were going to be roller skating.
Oh, we prefer to call it floating.
Floating.
Across the stage.
Oh, it's a trick. Oh, really? Because I said to Robin, you know what I have in common with the lady that's coming in today? I said, ask me how often I roller skate. When do I? Oh man, I had a better joke this morning.
I know, it was great.
How often do I roller? I said none. No, never mind. It didn't work. Well, Suellen DeVito. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And do you like wearing the habit?
Well, it does take on its own persona.
I bet. Do people treat you differently when you're wearing it?
Yes, they
really?
do. Mm-hmm.
Really? Guys don't hit on you as much?
No.
Or maybe more.
Oh, no. Johnny Williams. You must be Johnny Williams. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Make sure your microphone's on. I gotta figure out where you are. Say something.
Hello.
There's my green light. Okay.
Hello.
See, green light comes on when you talk. You play Eddie Ryan.
That's right.
And we'll find out who Eddie Ryan is in a little bit. Do you live in Ocala?
I do. Born and raised.
Oh, wow. And is the medal in your face? Is that the character or is that you?
This is me.
That's
this
you.
Is me. This all comes off for the performance.
Oh, it does?
It does.
Okay. All right. Look at those earrings, Robin.
Yeah, I like them.
Got big holes in his earrings.
I know, but I like them.
And do women hit on you differently when you're in character?
You'd be surprised.
And Melody Murphy. Good morning, Melody.
Good morning.
Now, where are you? Where's your microphone? How come I don't hear you? Speak again.
I don't know. You hear me now?
There you are. Okay.
There we go.
Melody, your name is Becky
Bukowski.
Bukowski. Mm-hmm. The pigtails look like a Becky. I don't know why that is. Why do I picture pigtails on a Becky?
I don't know. Did you know one back in school?
I don't know, but everybody hits on you, don't they?
I bet they
That's
do.
a yes. That was a yes. See, I can read women pretty good, Greg. You know? Are you good at this too?
Pardon?
You're good at this too, right? You can read women, right?
Sometimes.
Did you just wake up?
I will never claim that.
Did you just wake up?
I did a little bit ago, actually.
So let's see. Who wants to talk to us about the show? Do black patent leather shoes really reflect up? Greg, why don't you tell us about the storyline? Oh, you want to do it? Sister?
Yeah, let them.
Oh, no.
I'll call you sister. It's hard for me not to do that.
Oh, no, that's fine. I will defer to the director.
My son.
Well, it's based on a book that was a big selling book in the 70s. It's set in Chicago, and it's basically a guy's observations on growing up in Catholic school. And it's centered around Eddie Ryan, which is the main character in the show as well. And it's sort of musings about sort of the information and misinformation that gets handed to these kids through their Catholic education growing up, and their fears and love for the nuns and the priests and the wacky people they meet along the way. So that's sort of in a nutshell what the show is about.
And lots of songs, right?
Lots of songs.
So the question about the songs I have, and maybe anybody can answer this one: does singing lines require I mean, because a lot of times when you listen to pop songs, you misunderstand the words. But in a story, you have to understand the words in a song, right?
Right.
So do you deliver? Is your singing different? I'm guessing you all sing anyway. If you're singing in a play, so does singing a song, let's say, for a record, differ from singing for a stage?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You're acting through your singing because you're trying to portray your character and have it come through with whatever scene that you are doing. So your singing voice takes on a bit of a different context, right? Would you say?
Yes, you have to express your character
Right.
through your voice also. It's not just always opening your mouth and singing as pretty as you can. It's trying to capture that character and what that character's voice would sound like. So it might require you to be more nasal or to lower your voice to sound older, younger, whatever. That's a big part of it. And also, you have to be really, really careful of your diction. You got to spit your words out so that the audience, everybody from the back row on, can hear and understand every word you say.
Oh, wow. And Melody, do you raise your pitch? Does your character sing higher than you might normally?
Yes. Yes, I have. This role in particular.
Because you've got a sexy, deeper voice for a woman. But I'm guessing you put on a high voice for the Becky character.
Yes, in the younger scenes, I do. I raise it a little bit. And then it's a soprano role, so I sing higher for this part than I normally do.
Are you married?
No.
Oh, I was going to ask, does your husband like that look? Do you have a boyfriend?
I'm sure he would like it.
Are you from Ocala also?
We moved here in 1988, so I went to middle school, high school, everything.
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's home.
I'm glad it's home. Did I ask Sue Ellen, are you from Ocala?
No, I just moved here from Boston in June of last year.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
You have red hair under that habit, don't you?
She does.
yes.
Well, I can see your eyebrows. I can see a little bit peeking out there. You got beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Is it okay to compliment a nun on her looks?
Well, I think it kind of crosses the line, you know.
That sounds like a. Hey, Greg, that could be a title for a new play. Is it appropriate to compliment a nun on her looks?
Sure, write it. We'll do it.
It's a long title, right?
Did you embrace the theater here, Sue Ellen, when you moved here? Was this one of the first things you sought out?
Yes, I had done my homework, and I went on the internet to see what was available, and I saw which OCT has a fabulous website, and I said, I got to get in. How am I going to do that? So I was really like always looking, signed up for the audition notices, and by the grace of God, I went in and I went,
the grace of God. I think I just saw a light come on you when you said that. I think I just saw some light come down.
No, I saw the audition notices, and I didn't know anything about this show. This is a sleeper, a gem. And I went,
I think you're right, yeah. I didn't know anything about it either.
Yeah, no. It didn't last very long in New York.
It should I mean, there are some pretty funny, although risque songs in here, aren't there?
It has a little bit of nuance of naughtiness, if you would like to call it.
What was the one song, Greg? What was the one song you shared with me that was... Private Parts.
Yeah, but you know what's nice about the show? I mean, because it gets performed a lot in high schools and colleges and regional theaters all over the world. And I think the reason is because it never crosses the line. It knows how to be... It's naughty the way a child would be naughty. It never goes to that place of being trash,
Well, which is good,
That's what I do admire about the show is that it knows what it is and it knows its audience very well. And so they really root it in how a child would see it and how you would speak to a child about it.
And when did it first come out?
It came out, the show itself was in the early 80s, 82. It was on Broadway.
So how did you discover it? On Broadway?
No, I didn't know the show very well, to be honest with you. I knew that OCT had done it before, but I didn't know much about it. I bought the cast album many years ago and had listened to it and thought some of the songs were kind of cute and catchy or whatever. And then when Mary Britt and I were looking at the season, when I was here doing Guys and Dolls last year, and she asked, I said, well, the time slot, as far as the time slots go and what I'm interested in, probably the 39 Steps for Black Patent Leather Shoes. And so, reason being is it's always fun to learn a new show.
How many cast members are there?
12 total.
12. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that considered large or is that a small
No, it's
cast?
small for a musical.
Okay.
I mean, you know, for Guys and Dolls, I mean, we had 46 people on the stage doing Fiddler 2 years ago, and then Guys and Dolls, you know, you've got 32, and so for a musical, 12 is pretty small.
So you cast it, right? Weren't you a part of that? And you also choreographed it. And I'm sure you had to listen to their voices singing and their acting ability. So they've got to pass a lot of tests before they're sitting here talking to us on the radio, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So what's the hardest? Is it hard for you to find the perfect singer, the perfect look, and they can't dance, and you have to say no? That's got to be tough.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on the situation too. I mean, you know, if I'm doing a big regional theater or something, then we will say no, because we'll go looking for what we want. You usually have the time and the resources to go do that, and that's great. That's always fun because you can really go after exactly what you want. But what's fun about OCT and when you're dealing with in community theaters or even college theater is I like the teaching element that's involved a lot. I love the teaching part of it. So I actually like finding those people that I'm like, you know, with a little work, that person has something.
Oh, really? Does that apply to any of you?
No, it doesn't apply to any of these.
No. Let's see. We haven't spoken to Johnny much. Johnny, I have to look at your name here so I remember.
That's all right.
Because I keep wanting to call you Eddie.
Yes.
So Johnny,
Yes.
Johnny, what is your biggest strength? Tell me your strength and your weakness.
My strength and my weakness. I like to consider myself a fast learner. Whenever a new piece of choreography or something like that is given to me, I usually pick it up pretty fast. And if not, I fake it. I fake it.
But I mean, is singing your biggest strength? Is acting? Is comedy?
That's hard to say. I usually leave that up to the audience because if it's myself trying to say what my best strength is, then I probably have it wrong. Mainly because I'll try to focus on that strength instead of focusing on bettering my weakness.
Oh, okay.
So I let my directors and choreographers and musical directors tell me what my weakness is.
And what's the biggest thrill of it all? Is it the applause? Is it what? How do you know that you've done what you're supposed to do?
It's different for every actor. Sometimes it's the gratification that comes from the audience, and sometimes it's just the feeling that you have inside after you've gotten done with the performance. It's different for every actor. For myself, I just love the feeling of completing a show, telling a story, and knowing that story hit home with somebody in the audience, even if it's just one person.
And I bet this particular story does, because a lot of people went to Catholic school, and probably and I'm guessing that it doesn't necessarily offend anybody who was a teacher at a Catholic school. Is that fair to say?
The beautiful thing about it is that you don't have to go to Catholic school to relate to the kids in the show.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah.
I mean, whether you went to Catholic school, public school, private school, whatever it is, kids are kids, and they talk about. I mean, I never went to Catholic school, and a lot of the stuff that happens in this show I can relate to so easily because it's the exact stuff that I went through when I was in elementary school and middle school and high school. So you don't have to come from a Catholic school background in order to really connect with the show and the characters.
And do all three of you get to have creative license sometimes in the way you are presenting your role?
Absolutely not.
If you're lucky and you have a director who has a collaborative spirit like Greg does,
right.
He'll say, I want you to do this, go here, walk here. But you can say to him, Greg, I want to try this. And he'll say, by all means, he'll let you play, and you feel like you have a bit of a part in the decision making. Where ultimately he'll say, "Well, I've seen it this way, and I've seen it that way, and I prefer it this way."
Yeah, there are many times where Greg has actually said straight to us, "I'm not going to block this scene because it'll look like blocking."
Okay.
It'll look like it.
Yeah.
Well, and he's got a lot of experience. I mean, he's very humble about it, but I mean, he's got a huge background. So, are you guys following him out to Hollywood when he goes back?
We'd follow Greg anywhere.
That's going to be pretty. A Catholic nun, a schoolgirl, and a guy in a nice jacket wherever I go.
You'll be on the news.
That's quite the entourage. Y'all might actually get me seen.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, just I think you shouldn't ride a bicycle though, Johnny. There's a guy in my neighborhood who tries to change my religion like every other week. Yeah. He's always dressed like you on a bicycle. I don't know who he is. He knocks on my door, asks me something, and I say, I'm there. I don't need anything.
Right.
I'm fine. Okay.
How many years do you age in the show, Johnny? Do you?
Well, I think I actually have no, I guess I don't have the biggest age jump, but I go from present day, which if you think about it, I guess that's the 70s or 70s for the present day. So we go all the way from second grade to present day. So a good 20 years at least.
Mm-hmm. You're a second grade student in the play?
The show.
Yeah, because in the show, when they're in the second grade, they're in the 50s, and then he's in the 70s, basically, when we meet him at first. He's going back looking for his high school sweetheart.
Oh, and that's Melody.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
One of many.
And Sue Ellen, when you got this role, were you already talented roller skater?
Oh, no.
Really? You had to learn roller skating for this?
Well, certain things come back from childhood.
Does the habit go all the way to the ground?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful those wheels don't get caught up in everything.
And did you fall in trying to get it back?
Now, don't put a hex on me. No.
No. Okay. Well, that's fair.
Well, at the beginning, but that was before the costume. So
what is your background? What have you done? You moved here from Boston. What were you doing up in Boston?
Well, I was working working a day job, and I was involved in all big community theaters, different ones, because Boston has a hot pocket, as well as New Hampshire, where I lived. And I was on a board of directors for a small black box theater that always went to festival. They were put on some high quality work. And it was hard to lead because Boston obviously has a more varied groups to choose from, and that was why it was so important that I wanted to get on with this particular group. And I'm so happy. Thanks, Greg.
You're probably right. Yeah, the group that Greg is with is outstanding.
Yes,
and you're right. We don't have as many groups here as you would have in a larger city, but yeah, you're lucky to have found it.
It's very high quality. From the physicality of the building and the inside workings, as to the people that run that group. So professional. And I think Greg will say the same thing. I mean, yes, Greg has been in equity and he has worked with, quote, the pros, but these people, they really have it together. They're very, very good.
So the show itself starts what day? What is the beginning?
Wednesday. Well, Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah, February 6th.
6th, okay, Thursday. And
there are performances that have already sold out. So if you want tickets, I would not wait. If you want your choice of seats and days and all that sort of stuff, you need to call the box office right away.
Right away, yeah.
Yeah, right now. Do it.
And one of your hats, Melody, with the Ocala Civic Theater also is you're the marketing director. So you try to get things out there.
I'm an admin assistant. I do a bit of our marketing. I do a lot of the writing for the theater. So yes, I work there and I volunteer there.
Oh, really?
That's wonderful.
Really? And as a writer, you mean the promotional writing?
Programs, press releases, newsletter, audition notices, our Facebook pages.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're so young. Do you have any background in acting besides this?
Well, I've been with Ocala Civic Theater for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it the Pigtails? Why do you look so young?
It's the Pigtails.
Well, you started when you were 2.
Bless you. Well, I was in high school. I was in high school when I started. But yeah, I've been volunteering there for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And I've worked there for 5. So it's a big part of my life.
I really enjoy the program where you have the people's bios and stuff and then the photos, but could you put the photos with each person's bio?
We used to do that. Yeah. It kind of depends on how many people you have in a cast, the easiest and best, most efficient way to lay it out. But yeah, I'll pass that along to our designer.
By the way, Robin and her mom are probably 2 of your biggest fans. They are at every show, right?
Yeah, we have season tickets. I mean, we buy them every year.
Yes,
so
I remember your mother. Yeah, I always enjoy talking to her on the phone.
Yeah, she's wonderful. Thank you. I'll tell her.
And Johnny, what is your background?
Well, like I said, born and raised here in Ocala.
As far as acting, I mean.
But yeah, I did some in high school. Took a few years before I got back into theater after high school. And my first show at OCT was probably about, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. So I haven't been here for all that long, but within that time period, I've done at least 15 shows, just because I just keep coming back, at least 2 or 3 shows a season, because that's kind of what I want to do. So after a while, I started teaching for the theater, started teaching classes over there, right. And started getting really heavily involved with the education department over there. Right now we're doing school tours in the mornings for elementary schools. We're doing classes in the afternoons for middle schools. We teach classes all day long, all afternoon long during the school year and all day long during the summer. So I really got involved recently with the education department over there. So that's kind of where I stay.
Ah, okay, excellent. Multi-paths, it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where will the orchestra be seated during this performance? Sometimes they're in the pit, sometimes...
At Horse and Hounds across the street. Okay. They're very smart and clever, those musicians. They'll be in the pit. On this show, they will be in the pit.
Do you guys, are you able to record the shows like on videotape? I know that's probably not easy.
It is illegal. But
it's illegal?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Copyright issues.
Wow.
With some exceptions. When we did Sugar Bean Sisters, because the playwright, we were very much in communication with him, and he gave us permission to do it. When we've done, for instance, with Pirates of Penzance and Mikado, we could do it because those pieces are in the public domain, so there's no law stating that you can't. But as long as the show has an active copyright on it, then no, you cannot do that.
I didn't know that.
And neither can you in the audience. Turn them off.
Really? You can't be wearing a GoPro on stage, like.
You really can't, Larry. And if you do, the costume designer will not be happy. It's hard to hide one of those in your habit.
I don't know. I think she could pull it off. Could hide it somewhere.
Yes, I could.
Is it hard to keep the white part clean? You can't have a hot dog right now, can you?
No.
Who is the costume designer for this show?
Molly Demers, who joined the theater this season, and she's done a really great job on the show. And also, your audience that saw Les Miserables got to see her work there, and Almost Maine, and so she's done a really nice job this season. Yeah.
Really.
So, in addition to this one, Greg, what else is in your plans? What's in your future?
Sleep.
Well, I don't mean today. I mean
after this, I am just focused strictly on the film festival here in Ocala. So that will be enough until April when we launch that.
How many films are you going to put in this year?
We're looking at right now about 12 features, and then I cannot tell you how many shorts because we haven't started. I'm just now starting the programming phase of the festival, and until I really sit down and break down the blocks and how many fit together and so on and so forth. But there'll probably be at least, I would say, 70 to 80 short films. Plus the features. And then with the headquarters across the street in the Brick City Center for the Arts, there's a really neat opportunity that anything that you've missed in the festival, we've gotten a sponsor on board that's putting 3 beautiful big flat screen TVs in that space that you'll be able to come in and as long as you've already bought a ticket to something or you hold a pass, you can come in and sit down and get a cup of coffee and sit at a very nice comfy place and put on the headphones and watch anything that's in the festival.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that will be happening as long as the Brick is open, which is like 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. It's going to be incredible. I'm very excited. The support's been amazing.
One of the most favorite parts, I think, from the audience perspective is the meet and greet at the end of the shows for all of the characters. You never know what kind of influence that you guys have on the audience, especially the up-and-coming young actors, that you're able to give your time to them. What kind of questions do you think they might give you, the middle schoolers or the high schoolers?
Well, let's role play, Melody. How can I be a singing Catholic girl?
I don't know that it will be so much that they ask us questions. To me, all of these characters are extremely relatable. And like Johnny said, you didn't have to go to Catholic school to identify with the show. But I believe we will get a lot of, wow, I know somebody just like that character, I already had a boy on stage crew say, wow, I'm that character at my school.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
and it, I think we'll get a lot of that, people identifying with the characters and the experiences. Yeah.
Oh, that is.
They're very lovable, all of them, and you get to see them. Well, the 8 of us who are the school children, from the time we're in 2nd grade all the way up through adulthood. So you see them grow and evolve and mature, and you see all their little quirks and flaws, but you love them anyway because you see where they're coming from.
So, Ellen, you got dressed here, right? I don't remember seeing a nun walking past the window earlier.
Yes, I did.
that was like a what's my line kind of an answer. Yes, I did. Well, thank you all for coming in. Greg, you're outstanding. Thank you for what you do for this community. You share your talents with us, and it's very much appreciated. The show starts on Thursday. Thursday coming up at the Ocala Civic Theater. Let me go down the list. Johnny Williams, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Nice to get to meet you. Sue Ellen DeVito.
Yes.
I think you're being a very good sport, by the way, putting up with me as well as all of you are, really. And Melody Murphy, thank you. Thank you for all you do. I didn't realize you were who you are until Robin asked you that question. So thank you for what you do for us. I mean, the theater.
Well, thank you.
The theater is such a wonderful thing to have. I'm glad that we support it because you.
I'm glad you do too.
I would hate to, I would hate to see it disappear. It was disappointing when the other theater had to fold, right?
Right.
Or did it fold? Am I saying something out of line here?
Well, they're still an entity. They're just not in a building.
Yeah, but I think I kind of wish they had more support, and But I'm glad you guys do, and thank you for what you do for all of us. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Right.
Thank you.
And we will take a little break and be right back.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Where in Florida? Some dense fog for a while this morning. Otherwise, another unseasonably warm day today with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 79 to 83. It'll be partly cloudy tonight, lows 60 inland, 67 on the coast. Tomorrow, partly sunny and very warm with a shower or two around in the afternoon. The high 78 to 82. For Wednesday, mostly cloudy and warm with a shower around in the afternoon. The high